Markets are primed. What Bitcoin liquidity is telling us before Powell speaks. Hey guys, it's Keith Allen, and yes, today we're going to give you an update on what we saw yesterday. Liquidity dynamics are indeed changing in the order book, and of course, the market is ready and anxiously awaiting comments from Chairman Powell. We do have an FOMC Fed rate decision meeting happening this afternoon, but quite frankly, that one's going to be a nothing burger. Everybody knows no chance of a actual rate cut coming today, or any rate change for that matter coming today. But all ears going to be dialed into Fed Chair Powell to see if he can give us any clues, any hints of what the committee is thinking and how soon we might expect a rate cut to come, what the concerns and fears are of a potential recession, how tariffs may continue to impact the economy, the GDP, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much what we're going to be listening for. And quite frankly, I don't know that we're going to hear anything that we haven't already heard. We know that he is not going to bow down to Trump's bullying or demands to cut rates just based on the executive office's desires. We know that tariffs are making unnecessary uncertainty, and that's an issue. And so it's likely that they're just going to wait until we have some clarity on tariffs before they can make any decisions. Otherwise, we're just kind of in this pattern of not really knowing, right? And the market doesn't like that that uncertainty. Before we start, of course, a bit of housekeeping. Do me a favor. If you haven't done so yet, smash the buttons. Help me grow the channel. Be sure especially to hit that subscribe little bell up there in the top right corner so you don't miss any of the future streams. And live chat is open as per usual. So if you would like to join me, I'd love to have you. Hey, Jerry Gringo, good to have you with me. And again, you guys are what make this good. You guys are what make these streams the best. So if you have something that you want, if you've got questions, I'll do my best to answer them. If you've got insights you want to share, we would love to hear them. And if you cannot participate or engage in the live chat, feel free to leave a comment if you're watching on X or on YouTube in a recorded version, and I will engage with those later. I promise you I will. I always do. And without further ado, let's go ahead and climb in. I want to show you what's been transpiring here yesterday. Really a pleasantly surprising defense of the yearly open. And that was something that we had seen, right? And so I'm going to show you what we were looking at yesterday in terms of the technicals and in terms of the liquidity dynamics and the order flow dynamics in the order book and how that's developed since then. So let's start by sharing the screen here. And I'm going to start here on let's start, I guess, on something yesterday that we looked at is this new timescape indicator from Material Indicator. So we'll start here because there's some good technical analysis in this and show you how this kind of relates to what's going on, right? So this is actually still in beta, probably going to be released pretty soon, but this is a new timescape indicator that my partner Fred came up with. Give him a follow, by the way, Material Scientist on X, and you'll definitely get you're going to get some great memes and some great shit posting, but he also posts some brilliant observations and insights. And this is one that he recently came up with. This is a time-based indicator. It's basically marking what our yearly and quarterly opens were, as well as the first week of. So this line right here, this is the yearly open, which on this exchange on Binance was at, let's see, $93,576. And this line is the first week of. So that first Monday in January, January 6th, this was a open at 98,363. And lo and behold, look exactly where resistance and support are. Okay, we're right pinned in this range. Now, we saw an indicator on Monday morning, that suggested that price was not likely to go beyond the that 98K level. But, hang on a second. It looks like, so here we have it here. It's actually this is trend precognition. We have two algos running. The A2 plus algo did not give us a new signal on that weekly time frame. However, the A1 did. And basically what this is telling us is that price is not likely to go beyond last week's high, which was right at 98K. So the indication here, unless it's invalidated, price is not likely to go. Certainly anything could be invalidated, and certainly Powell's comments today could help us invalidate that. But at the moment, it looks like there's support. Ask liquidity building in that range that is defending 98K. All right. We saw this yesterday. It's been there for a while, right? We were rejected on Friday after that rally on Friday. Rejected. We had a little bit of a couple of blocks of bids and asks playing some games here, but these didn't really pan out. This was actually filled. And then price came in and suppressed, pushed us down back to the support level at 93.5. And we tested that a couple of times. And I'll be honest with you, I'm pleasantly surprised that we saw this bounce here. Now, as this got cleared out, and then yesterday we saw price moving up, and another block of ask liquidity came in. This was about 20 million, not a ton, right? And I kind of felt like this was trying to lure in some shorts. And undoubtedly, I'm sure it did. And then, of course, we got the pump. And now all this liquidity got cleared out. So what happens now? So what we often see in events like this, and when I say events like this, I'm speaking of an FOMC event, of Fed Chair Powell speech or press conference, as it were. We'll see a lot of volatility. We'll see price action actually run the range in the days leading up to these events. And we did. We went up, we tested, we rejected, we came down, we went up again, we round tripped it. And now in the past, not even 24 hours, past probably 12 hours or so, we're seeing some more bids step up, right? So actually we're seeing liquidity move in both directions. You'll notice here, right, we have a block of about 16 million at this 98K, 16, 17 million at this 98K level. And then just a little bit of it has faded out, a few $1 million of it. And so it's stepping down here to exert some more pressure to defend and insulate resistance at 98K. Meanwhile, we have some bid liquidity stepping up, right? It was cleared out yesterday, and now it's filling back in. It's replenishing. And if I adjust the volume percentile filter, you'll see that we have bids rising up a bit more here, up from 93.5, really, I guess the heavier concentration at around 93, and then laddered up to 94, another block at this 95K level. And these aren't huge blocks, but the fact that they exist where they didn't exist 24 hours ago is noteworthy. And you can see there's a lot leveled up in this range. So, and this goes up now to 96K. Again, these aren't big concentrations of liquidity. It's spread through, which means these folks are happy to dollar cost average, an entry at this point. And it looks, in my opinion, quite bullish on this side in terms of how bid liquidity is replenishing. Now, we're still seeing this 98K level defended. And as I mentioned, the indicator, trend precognition down here, this A1 algo, indicated that we're not likely to break this 98K level this week, but anything can change in one word from Powell. Let's see what Jerry Gringo has to say. There's an SFP at 97.9 or a DNPOC at 98.272 would be possible if we break resistance in this 97K range. Well, the 97K range, the technical for me is at that 98K where we saw this. A great observation, by the way, Jerry. Thanks for sharing that insight. The technical resistance, in my opinion, is heaviest at this timescape level that we talked about. This is the first week of the year. So I think this is stronger. We have had some wicks that came very, very close. We went to 97.895. We went to 97,732. So yeah, we're up in the zone, and it's being defended right now, just as the indicator suggested that it would. Uh, on the support side, we've seen several retests here on the support side, and those are pretty solid. Just a brief wick yesterday below makes me think, and even before that, I was thinking that this would get overshot, and we might get down to this 21-week moving average, which, if I look at it here on this chart, we have some confluence with the prior support level at around what is this, 91.5, 91.6. So all of this is kind of aligned well. Of course, that 2025 open is right here in the 93.5 range. So if this wicks through, I think we have some pretty good potential landing zones here. I like this 21-week moving average. And if things really get nasty, I would look to this range here, where we have, and you see we have a daily signal here, which indicates the price isn't likely to go below yesterday's low, which did wick through. So this tells me that we're likely to stay pinned in this range. Let's see. Fabio, is it me, or is the stream slow and stuck at buffering? Well, it's working for me, but I can't tell you. If anybody else can comment on that, please do. I hope it's just your internet connection. Surprising. Really thought that low was coming in. Well, I thought it was too. But as I was showing you guys here on fire charts, we have some liquidity coming into place. And you see now bids, ask liquidity strengthening to defend this 98K level. So, and again, one sour note or an overly hawkish tone from Powell could make all this go away, right? We could shoot right through all of this. So that's why I'm looking at these other targets. But I'm just telling you that at the moment, liquidity is moving into place to at least defend that low. And this signal is a tentative signal that could get invalidated. It's not super strong. It's a 34 probability score of 34% at the moment. So it's not a super strong signal. But that's why I'm looking at these other support levels, these other technical support levels that I think could come into play if this weekly does not hold here. If the open doesn't hold, then I look at this 21-week moving average, and if that doesn't hold, then I think that we have a nice backstop here with this cluster of moving averages between the 100-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, and the 21-day moving average are all kind of jammed in this zone of a couple $1,000. So, as a long-term trader, I'm not concerned about this. If you're swing trading this, then like I said yesterday, if you were short, I would suggest that you take profits conservatively. And, if you're trading, likewise, we know we have strong resistance at 98K. We're all waiting for some clarity if we can get it out of the Fed this afternoon. So that all remains to be seen. Hello. That empty space below was my catalyst for the lows. I recall last FOMC, the price went up the day before. Yeah, similarly, like we said at the beginning of this, we get ranges and we see things, we see price run the range. That's a typical move. But what's noteworthy is all of this, right? All of this was cleared out yesterday. I'm going to make it bright again. This was cleared out yesterday. And so the fact that we have ladders, and these aren't huge rungs, there's not a huge concentration at each one, but there is some bid liquidity stacked in this range, and it's moving up, which tells me that there's sentiment to defend this yearly open. And again, one bad comment could inspire a rug pull and a dump, and we'll have to see what happens from there. Now, the other thing that I've been looking at is what whales are doing, and this is what clued me into yesterday's move. Whales were buying, right? We were up here. We saw this block of resistance here, but whales were buying. Purple whales have historically dominated Bitcoin price action, and that has not changed. Sure, there's periods where we see something a little bit different, but you can see they're really influencing the price action here, and they are continuing to buy right now, still buying. So, and look at this, another step up in liquidity. These aren't big blocks, but it's pushing price up and it's keeping price elevated. Liquidity dampens volatility. We obviously have way more to the upside that should make it harder to move up. But I think that the way things are shaping up at the moment, it looks like bulls want to defend this. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Jerry Gringo, she's with phone, and Jerry's with phone and works good. Good. Glad to know it. Take an account, we just cleaned the CME gap at 97. There's still the lower one. Yeah, I'm not a gap trader, but there are times where I think I mean, listen, more often than not, the CME gap gets filled. It almost always gets filled. And we did play that. I was very in tune to the gap, where the gap was on, when it was recently sitting around a technical support level, and we did go and fill that. And that was like, I don't know, a month or so ago. Can't even remember where that one was, but it did come into play, and I was tracking that. So thanks for that as well, Jerry. So that's essentially what I'm looking at. And you're seeing this change right before your eyes, right? We now have more stacking in above us, trying to push price down, and it's still getting eaten, right? So often we'll see brown whales step in when there is large blocks of liquidity to buy. I don't think that we're looking at a breakout or a breakthrough this just yet. Certainly not before the press conference, unless something gets leaked, right? So I think that it's a time for patience at this point. We're just about 4 hours away from the FOMC decision and press conference. We know the decision is going to be a nothing burger. We know that nobody is expecting anything. Look, now 99% saying no rate cut today. Not today, Tommy. So nothing's happening at this point on the rate level. So that's already baked into the market. We know this. It's really just a matter of what Powell's overall tone is. We know he's going to be frustrated with tariffs. We know that this is a sticking point. It makes it difficult for the Fed to make decisions, any forward-looking decisions, if there's no clarity on how this is going to pan out. The size of those tariffs makes a huge difference on our economy. It just does. And so until there's clarity on that, it is going to be difficult for the Fed to make any decisions. If it hasn't happened yet, I'm sure the president is going to come out with some derogatory remarks about Powell, or, how he's smarter than everybody else and we should be cutting. But Powell's not going to flinch on that. He's going to be he's going to remain data dependent, as he always has, and he's going to do his best not to surprise us. So listen closely, listen and read between the lines to today's press conference, and just maybe you'll get some clues. When all else fails, stick to your plan. Not a lot has changed, in my opinion. We are still very much in the macro bullish trend. It is unchanged. It is unbroken. And until that happens, I'm going to stay bullish. Simple as that. Hope that gives you guys some insight. Not a lot of news to update today versus yesterday, just kind of a continuation of what we've been seeing. And I'm going to give you, I guess, another look at the order book. You can see a lot happening here. So we're seeing some price action develop here and some liquidity shifting right before our eyes in fire charts. And by the way, if you're interested in this or any of the other tools that I share, there's links to the description in the links to them all, both in the description here and at the Material Indicators website and X page. So you can find it there. Thanks again for the ongoing support, guys. Really, really appreciate the follows. If you haven't done so yet, smash a like button, share this thing so you can share it with your fellow traders and friends and communities, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a future stream. Hope that helps you out, guys. We will all be listening intently to what Fed Chair Powell has to say today. Here's to trading smarter.